What's up guys, Nintenjoel here once again, and it's time for another video! Oh my god! It's October, and it's almost Halloween, and I've got two videos for you guys coming up that are going to be about scary games, and this is one of them. What I decided to do for this video was just going to be to show off 5 games that I really like that are kind of horror themed, that are retro, and then they were all going to be from different systems. So 5 games from 5 different systems, and I didn't want them to be anything super common. There's not like Castlevania 3 in here. There's not going to be like, you know, Ghouls and Ghosts or anything like that. It's going to be like 5 games that people don't really talk about as much. I've got 2 imports for you, one from Super Famicom, one from Sega Master System. I've got a PlayStation game, a PlayStation 2 game, and a DS game to share with you guys, so stick around and let's check these games out. Okay, first game that we've got is a really good one that I've been talking about actually for a little while. I haven't mentioned it for a while though, but I did do a playthrough of Level 1 and Level 2 on my channel a long time ago when I first got this game, and I do eventually actually plan on reviewing the game. But the game in question is Psycho Dream on Super Famicom. A really cool action platformer game that has you choose between a guy or a girl. They have different weapons. They have upgrades on their powers that are very much like shoot-'em-up type games, like weapon upgrades. But the game's a side-scrolling and vertical-scrolling platformer, and it's a really fun game. It reminds me of the Valis series a little bit, but the thing about it is it's a lot darker than most of the games that we got on Super Nintendo. This is one of those games that probably stayed in Japan because it was a lot darker. All the enemies are a lot more brooding, and the environments are a lot more dangerous and darker. I really like the subway scene, which is only like the 2nd level, and you're already like, yeah, this is getting awesome. You fight really weird, creepy monsters, all kinds of ghosts and spirits floating towards you and stuff, and really cool bosses, and it's just kind of a creepy game. And what helps that, even though it's only a 16-bit game, what helps it be a little bit creepy is the music. The music is really good. And it's just kind of off-kilter. It's just one of those games that's a little off-kilter. I highly, highly recommend Psycho Dream. Play it on emulator if you have to, or, you know, or on a RetroPie or whatever you're going to do. I personally play this on my Retron 5, but the thing is that Psycho Dream is getting a little spendier. Last I checked, it was like a $40-ish game for a card only, but it's been a while since I checked. It might have gone down, might have gone up, not really sure. Either way, it's worth playing for sure. Psycho Dream is really good. Okay, so for the second game that I have for you guys, that is definitely a little bit more tense, edgy, even uncomfortably, like, scary sometimes, because it's just got a weird atmosphere to it, and the puzzles are pretty dangerous sometimes. People do get killed in this game. One dude explodes, but that is 999. What is it? 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I can never remember the order of the words, but very good game. If you didn't know, there are 2 versions of the cover, and the actual inside is the same, except for the manual looks a little bit different, but I mean the actual like cart is the same. But this is the first edition. Definitely was after this a little harder to get. And then this is the second cover, but it doesn't matter, the game's exactly the same, just something odd I wanted to share with you guys. But 999 is like a point-and-click adventure type game with a lot of puzzles. You're stuck on a ship, ship's gonna sink, you've got 8 other people with you, and you guys are all trying to get out alive. And it gets tense, and you don't know who's on your side, and you don't know what's gonna be around each corner, and scary shit is happening. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, so I highly recommend 999. I'm not a huge point-and-click fan. There are definitely some that I like, but this one was so good, and I am not a completionist. Generally, this one was so good that I actually beat all 6 endings because I wanted to see everything in the game. So yeah, and definitely was worth it for sure. What's cool is when you go through the game, like again, or even if you just want to skip through things, you can hold down a button and actually fast forward through events and skip events. So it's super nice that way. So definitely a good scary game for Halloween in October. 999, check that out for sure. I cannot recommend it enough. Okay, for PlayStation, we've got one that's maybe not so much like scary, but man, is it like Halloween themed, and like there's just something about, like, the very first level, you're in a graveyard, there's pumpkins everywhere, you're a skeleton. I'm talking about Medieval. And Medieval's a really fun game. It's super colorful, even though it's like dark. It's because it's always like at night, but you go through like dungeons and graveyards and stuff, and you fight all kinds of ghosts and monsters, and it's just super Halloween-y. This reminds me of, this game has always reminded me of Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's a really, really fun game. Kind of uncommon, but definitely worth owning. Definitely worth owning. And if you don't know, there is actually a sequel, Medieval 2. I have not played this one as much, and it doesn't look quite as horror-themed as this one does, but it still looks like it's pretty Halloween-y, so this would probably be a pretty good series to play during October. I can definitely vouch for the first one. The second one I've always heard is really good. I just have not had it for very long, so I haven't played it very much, but definitely a great game, the first one. Check it out if you're in the mood for something that you like that's like Halloween-y and reminds you of Nightmare Before Christmas. You're going to love it for sure. Speaking of love, man, I have so much insane amount of love for this fourth game. So much love. I try to push this game on everybody, and only a handful of people I know have really caught on and played it and messed with it a lot, because though this is a very well-known franchise, this game slips under the radar a lot. And that is Castlevania Curse of Darkness on PS2. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to do anything that's like common, like Castlevania games or Ghouls and Ghosts, but I specifically meant like the more known ones. Curse of Darkness is a really good PS2 game. So imagine taking the Metroidvania Castlevania games, but instead of being 2D, they're from a third-person perspective, not unlike God of War, with fighting mechanics not too unlike God of War. But you still have the Metroidvania. You go back and forth through this world, you have teleportation stations, you can equip weapons and armor just like the Metroidvanias. There's an experience system, so it's got RPG elements. It's all the same, except for it's in a 3D environment. And it rules. You have this devil that follows you. You can switch up. There's like a bird, or you can have this big lumbering, like molten metal dude that follows you around and helps you. There's like a ghost. There's just all kinds of really cool guys that help you along on your quest, like little demons. And then when you defeat enemies, you get elements like red steel and like adamantium and like, I don't know if it's adamantium, but you know what I mean, like metals and stuff, and you can combine these to make weapons and items, and you can make those items into other items, and the item creation system's pretty cool in this game. This game has so much going for it, and it's cheap, and it is great. I've beaten it twice, if that tells you anything. So, yeah, pick this up. It's like $10. It's so worth playing. If you just pop it in, you'll get what I'm saying, and you'll see that it's like something worth playing. Most people, they just get it and like put it on their shelf. They think it's not that great. The other PlayStation 2 Castlevania game, in my opinion, was not that great. That's Lament of Innocence. In my opinion, skip that one. Go for Curse of Darkness. Last game I have for you guys, definitely one of the best. So good. I got this from my buddy Trent. I didn't think he'd ever get rid of it either, but he actually had this on, or I don't remember if he had this, but somebody I know had this on Game Gear, but you can actually get this on the Master System as an import, and this is super cool. It's Master of Darkness, and man, I love the cover. It's so rad. But Master of Darkness on the Master System, like I said, this is an import. It's not the easiest to come by. It's really freaking cool, but this is basically a Castlevania clone, except for you're a dude with like a sword, and I mean, it's graphically it's the same. I'm going to put pictures on the side and stuff, and you can see what I mean. Graphically, it's like the same. It's really hard though. You can get your weapon downgraded pretty easily if you're not paying attention. Kind of like whipping candles. You can get items in the game, and sometimes they throw a backwards item at you, so you'll have a knife instead of a sword. That sucks, but other than that, it's basically a Castlevania game. It's very similar. If you like things like Eight Eyes or Castlevania, or just action platformers, you're going to love Master of Darkness. But it's also the same thing. It's vampire killing, it's, you know, ghouls and ghosts and stuff like that. It's perfect for October, and something I definitely recommend you at least emulate, at least try it. This is a super, super fun game. And it's one that just nobody ever talks about, and it's really cool. And I like the side, too. It just looks so cool compared to most Master System games, and it's in such great shape. I'm so happy to own this one. But, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's like a Castlevania clone. What else can I say? I didn't really want to include one of the Castlevanias from NES, but I figured this was, like, very similar, but something that nobody really talks about much. If I remember correctly, and I'll put a note at the bottom, this game is called Vampire on Game Gear. I could be fucking wrong, though. I'm not sure about that. And if so, then yes, my buddy Trent that I got this from did have that complete in box, which is pretty cool. But you can get that for sure in America on Game Gear, but yeah, you got to get the import if you want to do it on Sega Master System. But that's it. 5 games that just kick ass. They're horror themed. They're perfect for October. Perfect to drink some good beer too with the candles lit and just play a nice game of something to freak you out a little bit, or maybe just get that music under your skin a little bit, make things uncomfortable. That's what this time of year is all about. So that's all I have for you guys. Please recommend Halloween games or scary games in the bottom that you love that nobody really talks about as much. That would be really awesome of a comment to see. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Give a like if you like the video. Hit the bell notification if you want notifications about when I release videos. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Happy Halloween. There will be another one of these list videos coming up very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. It will also be Halloween related. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching, and keep rocking the retro games.